Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the case of Meighan Cordie? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoy this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case. It's quite brief. Move to the timeline of the incident, then offer my analysis. Meighan Elizabeth Cordie was born in December of 1990 and lived in Oregon. By 2018, Meighan and her 3-year-old daughter, Gia, lived in Dayton, about an hour southwest of Portland. Her mother, Jennifer Weathers, lived about 30 minutes away in King City. Now moving to the timeline of the incident. On August 18, 2018, Meighan Cordie, her daughter, Gia, and her mother, Jennifer Weathers, attended a wedding in Grande, Oregon, which is 8 miles south of Dayton. The wedding venue was a place called Heiser Farms. Prior to their arrival at the wedding, Meighan and Jennifer had a debate about the driving arrangements. Meighan didn't want to drive because she wanted the option of consuming alcohol at the wedding. She had already been convicted for DUI and had a breathalyzer ignition lock on her vehicle. Jennifer didn't want to drive because she thought that Meighan's daughter Gia would become tired at the wedding, which would force them all to leave before Jennifer wanted to. Despite her reservations, Jennifer drove Meighan and Meighan's daughter to the wedding. They were in Jennifer's silver Honda CR-V. At about 10:20 p.m., Meighan's daughter became tired and fussy, and Meighan asked to leave the wedding. Jennifer had anticipated this outcome and was upset. She mentioned to Meighan how this was the reason she did not want to drive. Jennifer and Meighan argued as they walked to the vehicle and continued arguing after departing the wedding. According to Jennifer, Meighan and Gia were in the back seat of the Honda CR-V. After they had traveled a short distance, Meighan grabbed Jennifer by the hair and wanted to exit the vehicle. Jennifer slowed her vehicle down to about 5 miles per hour, and Meighan jumped out of the back seat onto the road. Jennifer searched for Meighan. She exited the vehicle to look around and also drove back and forth with the window down. It was dark on the street. There were no houses and no streetlights. Jennifer was unable to find her daughter Meighan and gave up about a half hour later. She drove to her apartment in King City with Meighan's daughter still in the back seat. Jennifer believed that Meighan would figure things out on her own. Maybe she would walk back to Heiser Farms or find some other way home. After arriving at her apartment, Jennifer discovered that Meighan's cell phone, purse, and shoes were in the front seat of the Honda CR-V. The next morning, Jennifer returned to Grand Island, the area where Meighan supposedly disappeared. She searched the area for about 2 hours, but did not have success. The search effort didn't appear to be enthusiastic. For example, Jennifer didn't ask any of the local residents or anyone at Heiser Farms about Meighan. Using the non-emergency line, Jennifer contacted the police and reported Meighan missing. In her description of events leading up to the disappearance, Jennifer failed to mention the part where Meighan pulled out her hair. It was only when the police found a clump of hair belonging to Jennifer in the front seat of the Honda CR-V that Jennifer disclosed information about a physical altercation. The police were suspicious about Jennifer's story. A few details did not make sense. For example, the clump of hair and Meighan's personal belongings were found in the front seat. But Jennifer said that Meighan jumped out of the back seat. It also seemed strange that it was too dark to find Meighan on the road, but Jennifer believed that Meighan could have made it back to Heiser Farms on foot. Why didn't Jennifer contact the authorities immediately when she could not find her daughter? The authorities conducted an extensive search near Heiser Farms where Meighan supposedly disappeared, but they did not find her. On August 23, at about 10 a.m., 3 people who were jogging spotted the body of a woman in Dayton and notified the police. It was Meighan Cordie. Her body was about 20 feet down an embankment behind the guardrail next to Southeast Foster Road. This road is at the interchange for Highways 18 and 221. The medical examiner determined that Meighan had 2 broken or severed vertebrae as well as other significant injuries. It looked as though she had exited a moving vehicle and slammed into a fixed object. There was evidence that she had struck one or more of the guardrail support beams. It did not appear as though she had been struck by a moving vehicle as she was walking along the road. Meighan was moving faster than 5 miles an hour when she slammed into the guardrail beam or beams, which is inconsistent with Jennifer's story about Meighan making a slow-moving exit. The location of Meighan's body was 9.4 miles from the wedding venue, which was nowhere near where Jennifer had indicated. Furthermore, Meighan did not have injuries on her feet consistent with having walked that distance without shoes. It was clear that Jennifer was lying. Here's what the police found as they continued their investigation. People at the wedding reported that both Jennifer and Meighan had been drinking. 3 witnesses believed that Jennifer was intoxicated and should not have been driving. One witness described Jennifer as, quote, sloppy drunk, unquote. The police interviewed Meighan's 3-year-old daughter, Gia, who said that Meighan had initially been in the front seat of the vehicle. Meighan exited the vehicle, but re-entered it by climbing into the back seat. This may have occurred in the area where Jennifer claimed that Meighan had gone missing, but there's no way to know for sure. The story about Meighan getting back into the SUV contradicted Jennifer's story. Jennifer never mentioned that part. Investigators believe that Jennifer convinced Meighan to get back in after the argument. Now, with everybody back in the vehicle, Jennifer continued driving, but she took a route which was inconsistent with getting back to Meighan's home. She ended up on Southeast Foster Road, which meant that she had already passed Dayton. It didn't make any sense for Jennifer to have been on that road. As the vehicle was driving around the curve on Southeast Foster Road at a speed much higher than 5 miles an hour, Meighan somehow left the Honda CR-V. It's not clear how this happened. She may have fallen out by accident or voluntarily exited. After making this departure, Meighan slammed into one or more of the guardrail support beams and was killed instantly. She continued down the embankment, where her body would be found a few days later. On October 1, 2018, 50-year-old Jennifer Weathers was charged with driving under the influence of intoxicants and recklessly endangering another person. She was not charged in connection with the death of her daughter Meighan. The reckless endangerment charge was because Meighan's daughter Gia was in the back seat of the vehicle as Jennifer was driving under the influence. On February 5, 2019, Jennifer pleaded guilty to driving under the influence and was sentenced to 5 days in jail. The reckless endangerment charge was dismissed as part of a plea deal. After being released from prison, Jennifer changed her last name from Weathers to Jaeger, perhaps in an effort to put her past behind her. Now moving to my analysis. Many people believe that Jennifer should have been charged with a crime connected to the death of Meighan Cordie, perhaps something like manslaughter. The state argued that Jennifer had satisfied elements of several different crimes, but not enough elements of any one crime to be charged. They almost made it seem as though she escaped justice on a technicality. The situation was so strange, unusual, and bizarre that no law had been written to address it. This brings me to the question, was Jennifer guilty of a crime like manslaughter? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that she was guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. There is no question that Jennifer was driving while under the influence. She eventually pleaded guilty to that charge. Meighan exited the back seat of Jennifer's vehicle while it was in motion, which caused Meighan's death. Even though Meighan died immediately after striking the guardrail support beam or beams, Jennifer would not have known this. Instead of immediately contacting the police or rendering any type of assistance, she left Meighan on the side of the road, not knowing if she was alive or dead. It was not until the next day when Jennifer finally contacted the police. She used a non-emergency number and told the police she was kind of worried about her daughter. She failed to mention the physical altercation until the police found her hair in the front seat of the vehicle. Jennifer told the police that Meighan went missing at a location near the wedding venue, but she knew that wasn't true. Meighan had exited the front seat of the vehicle there, but she climbed in the back seat. At this point, Jennifer was not only operating a vehicle while intoxicated, but she had an unruly passenger in the SUV. Meighan had called her boyfriend to pick her up, but he had to work early the next day. It's clear that Meighan did not want to be in the Honda CR-V with Jennifer. The situation was now even more dangerous for everyone involved. Instead of stopping in Dayton and dropping off Meighan and Gia, Jennifer continued driving right past the town. Maybe this prompted Meighan to exit the vehicle. Moving to the exculpatory factors, it's possible that Jennifer was too intoxicated to remember the events on the night Meighan died. Maybe she wasn't lying to the police, rather she simply didn't know what happened. The state conceded that there was no possible way that Jennifer could have pushed Meighan out of the Honda CR-V. Meighan's unexpected journey was caused through her own actions or by accident. Even though Jennifer knew that Meighan wanted to exit the vehicle, no reasonable person in her situation would have expected Meighan to simply unlatch the door and fly out of the SUV while in motion, mostly because of the dying part. During the incident close to Heiser Farms, when Meighan exited and re-entered the Honda CR-V, it was her responsibility to make sure the back door was properly closed and to wear a seatbelt. The door may or may not have been latched, but it's clear that Meighan was not buckled in. When considering all the evidence in this case, do I believe that Jennifer was guilty of manslaughter or of a similar crime? No, I do not believe she was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, but I do think that a good argument could be made that Jennifer was morally culpable. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Jennifer and Meighan had a volatile relationship characterized by frequent arguments. Meighan appeared to have difficulty regulating her intake of alcohol. Her prior DUI did not discourage her from drinking, and she was looking forward to consuming alcohol at the wedding. When they left the wedding, both Jennifer and Meighan were intoxicated. For some reason, Meighan felt comfortable relying on her mother to drive her and Gia home. Shortly into the drive, Meighan and Jennifer started arguing. Maybe Meighan was upset that Jennifer was driving under the influence, or maybe Jennifer was upset that they had to leave the wedding early. As a result of the argument, Meighan exited the Honda CR-V, but Jennifer persuaded her to climb back in. Now Meighan was in the back seat. As Jennifer drove past the town of Dayton, Meighan became furious. She wondered why her mother didn't stop. Meighan already didn't want to be in the Honda CR-V with her mother, and now she was even more upset because they were driving away from her home. Meighan attempted to take charge of the situation and unlatched the rear door. She probably did this to scare Jennifer into stopping, like Meighan was going to force Jennifer to hit the brakes. Unfortunately, Meighan was not familiar with the laws of physics and had unlatched the door as the vehicle was going around a curve. She immediately flew out, slammed into one or more guardrail support beams, and was killed. Jennifer was aware that Meighan was dead. This is why she never tried calling her on her cell phone. Terrified about going to prison for driving under the influence, Jennifer decided to contact the police after the effects of the alcohol had worn off. She used the incident near Heiser Farms to create a story about Meighan running off into the darkness. Jennifer was only thinking about herself. She did not care about her daughter's life, and she did not care about her granddaughter's life. Now moving to my final thoughts. Many people who struggle with alcohol use actively try to escape the consequences of their behavior. That is the theme of this case. Meighan desperately wanted to drink and thought that having her mother drive her home was a way to accomplish this goal without risking arrest. Unfortunately, Jennifer also became intoxicated. Rather than finding another way home, Meighan took her daughter and entered the CR-V with Jennifer. She may have been avoiding legal consequences. However, she forgot about other ways alcohol use can lead to death. Jennifer's alcohol use led her to driving the vehicle around a curve where she should not have been in the first place because they were past Dayton. Meighan's alcohol use led her to opening the rear passenger side door, which of course resulted in her death. Jennifer's first thought after seeing her daughter killed was something like, how do I escape responsibility? Alcohol has many ways to kill. Sometimes it is straightforward. Other times it works through relational dynamics. If someone is only thinking about how to escape legal liability, they are missing many of the ways alcohol can cause damage or death. Those are my thoughts on the case of Meighan Cordie. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.